Hello everyone, I'm Monica Corrado. I am a certified GAPS practitioner and the GAPS chef. I'm here to talk to you today about meat stock, one of my favorite things to talk about. So, meat stock is made with meaty bones. That's a bone that has a lot of meat on it. A joint is best. Connective tissue is good also. I say connective tissue because one of my favorite bones to use for meat stock for beef is a shank, which is literally just the cross section of the leg, if you will, which is meat with a very small marrow bone in the middle, but it's mostly meat. And the connective tissue is what makes it gelatinous. So the way to get a gelatinous meat stock is to make sure that you constrain the water. And that's why we use Dutch ovens for meat stock, or that's why I suggest that you use a Dutch oven. Dutch ovens come in ovals and rounds. They come in 4-quart, 6-quart, some of them are even 8-quart. But the reason I like to use a Dutch oven is because it will constrain the water and ensure that you get a gelatinous stock. If you have too much water to bone, meaty bone, it will never gel. And we really want the gelatin because that is what's going to help heal and seal. One of the things that I like to share with people is how do we know we have enough water? So I came up with a ratio, which is 1 pound of meaty bones to 1 quart of water, or 1 pound of meaty bones to about 1 1/4 quarts, which is 1 quart plus a cup of water. If you keep that ratio constant when you make, or consistent, when you make your meat stock, you won't have any problems with gelatin. It will always gel for you. And again, when I teach classes, I try to make it easy for people. And so I try to think of how can we make this easy? We're asking them to cook. So the Dutch oven, using a Dutch oven, will naturally constrain the amount of water. Constrain meaning it's going to limit the amount of water you can put in that pot because it's just not that big. So for 2 to 3 pounds of meaty bones, you're going to use 2 to 3 quarts of water, pure water on top. You can always add chicken feet if you like to the poultry meat stock. You can add marrow bones to any of the beef, bison, lamb, etc. If you like, but they are not the primary for this type of stock. So those are the things I really wanted to go through with you. In my book, The Complete Cooking Techniques for GAPS, has a wonderful section on meat stock. It tells you all the types of cuts of meat you can use. It gives you all the ratios. So go ahead and check that if you have any questions after this segment. So now we're going to talk about what we need to make meat stock. And so I'm going to demonstrate chicken meat stock today. And so you'll see here, I have quarters. This is about 2.5 pounds of chicken quarters, which is thighs and legs. Of course, always getting the best quality of meat that we can find. So what we're going to do first is we will use chicken, and so I'm going to go ahead and I've got my nice clean hands here. I'll go ahead and grab some chicken. I'm going to show you how to, this is a leg quarter again, so I'll show you how to go ahead and cut that. Easy way to cut a leg quarter chicken leg is to find the center of the joint, which is, you just find it with your thumb. Really easy to find, and then you will place your knife right in there, and it will just cut right through. So that's a really easy thing to do. So right now I just took the chicken, put it straight in the pot, cut it up, put it in the pot. Done. Okay, now we're going to add our onion and carrot. Okay, so This is going to be a meal. Meat stock is a meal. So you're going to eat the chicken, you'll eat the meat, in this case chicken. You will eat the vegetables, and you will drink the stock. So that's a good thing to keep in mind when you are prepping your vegetables, because you're going to eat these vegetables. They will not be thrown away. They will be eaten. So it's kind of nice to, I think we'll just cut it. We'll just cut them up like that, and then we'll do a little bit more of this. So we'll put our onion in. Again, this is one medium organic onion. And we're not really mincing it too much. Put them right in there. Take that skin off. Okay. We've got our onion in there. You could do less onion. You could do more onion. It's up to you. That's one medium onion. And then I'm going to put some carrots in. Carrots are, and again, your carrots, we are going to eat these carrots. So let's just cut them in a way that they'll be easy to eat, bite size. And just, I'm going to add a handful of peppercorns, black. That just gives it a little bit of flavor. And then we're going to go ahead and add in some pure water. Just pour it right in. And you want to cover the meat by about an inch. About an inch. So now we've got everything we need in this pot. And then what we'll do is, I'm going to use the stove method because I find it the easiest. And you could also use the oven method. You could also make meat stock in a crock pot. That's another story for another time. So what we're going to do now is, if we put it on the stove, we're going to bring it to a boil. We'll skim any scum off. And again, I said we would use something. This is a skimmer. Skimmer is wonderful to skim with. So we will skim the scum, bring it to a boil, skim and discard any scum, put it down to a simmer, then put the lid on and cook it very slow and low on your stovetop. Chicken's going to cook for about an hour and a half to 3 hours at the most. So people ask me all the time, so is it an hour and a half, or is it 2, or is it 3? What is it? And how can you tell? So a lot of that is going to depend on the quality of chicken that you have, how big the chicken is, how many pounds you've got in there. Usually the meat stock recipe is 2 to 3 pounds of meaty bones, bones with a joint or bones with connective tissue, 2 to 3 quarts of water. So you see it's just about a 1-to-1 ratio. All of this information is available in my book, which is called The Complete Cooking Techniques for Gaps, in the meat stock section. I list all of the types of bones that you can use for a meat stock, but I'll go through some of them now with you. So you can use chicken, a whole chicken. You can use the quarters, which is the legs and thighs. You can use the chicken necks or backs or wings, or necks and backs and wings. Make a wonderful gelatinous meat stock. Not too much meat, heavier on the stock, which is a wonderful thing. Turkey legs and thighs work very well. Turkey necks work very well. Lamb shanks, lamb neck bones, beef shanks, beef neck bones. All of those can be used for making meat stock. And remember, meat stock is a meal. You will eat the meat, you will drink the stock, and you'll eat the vegetables.